at Bangkok City Gallery. Today the exhibition held by SOS on Sold Out Studio. The exhibition will held from 9 February to the 1st of April. There are two exhibition rooms at Bangkok City Gallery. This room is the room to show the artwork of the SOS artists, and another room which you will see later on is the room about the SOS exhibition. So the exhibition is about marking the 15-year milestone of Sold Out Studios. The exhibition transformed Bangkok City Gallery into an immersive cityscape informed by our worldview, often misguided by new social pressure, ever-transcend communities and financial consent. SOS reveals a snapshot into a creative community of lives from the animal, fantasy and distinctly real world in true to form, Sold Out Studio fashion, sometimes humorous, irreverent and almost always topical. The exhibition will liven up Bangkok City Gallery with art installation in various forms, all revolving around the change in Bangkok cityscape and the community that they live in.
The candidate of Sold Out Studios, we have Alex Face, MP, B. George, Candice Tripp, Gong, Gus, Jace, Price, and Mau Mau and Move On. Majority of them are Thai-based artists and the rest are French and British artists.
This painting is called Nobody Thought He Would Actually Do It by Candice Tripp. In this painting, she narrated the adult violence scene and represented it by using the shouted subject. For example, she painted it like a cartoon character, and instead of using guns as it is going to be in real life, she decided to use arrow in this painting. In this painting, everyone is covering their face with rabbit mask or hat. In the corner of the painting, a boy is sitting there on a tree uninjured with a bow on his hand. So he is probably the one who is in charge of this situation. So this painting is representing the crime scene in a fantasy way. In contrast with this painting, it reminds me of the pilgrimage to Cythera. It is a romantic scene, represent the love. Aphrodite, that is the god of love, and the cupids in the corner of the painting are telling that all the love in this scene is happening because of them. Next is called The Well That Ate Poor People by Candice Tripp. You can see skulls in the hole under the well. In my opinion and my analysis, the well can represent the rich people, that the rich and powerful people take advantages on poor people, like what is happening in real life, and skulls are representing that the poor people are struggling. This painting reminds me of the gleaners, that the gleaners are poor people collecting the leftover crops after the owner of the farm already harvest. So gleaner is poor people who are struggling to live, like it is representing in Candice Tripp painting.
Another work of London-based artist Candice Tripp. Speaking of her past growing up in Cape Town, South Africa, the cup of sugar is her symbol for companionships between her neighbors, to call upon neighbors for help. But she's now feel alienated and misplaced to a new neighborhood in London. It reflects community value being lost, and realize how much she relies on a conversation with her neighbors. Growing collections of cups overfilled with sugar emphasize the monument of conversation being lost. Duchamp Was Here by Mubon. This work is also dedicated to another installation in Flat Patong named The Sweet City, that turns the community to meet, talk, and make art. This work is obviously referred to The Fountain by Marcel Duchamp. The urinal that is lack of aesthetic qualities and artist recognitions. Challenge what is considered as art. Duchamp said that everyone has potential to be an artist. Everything has potential to be interpreted as art, as a motto to younger generations. How he put his iconic duck figures on a replica of Duchamp fountains also remind me of LHOOQ, also by Marcel Duchamp. The most well-known painting, Mona Lisa, that added the bear as a reinterpreted in a humorous way and rectified ready-made.
This is Alex Face, a character with an existing illusion shy face, wearing animal costume, especially attempt to create a link with the urban population and underprivileged of Bangkok. Created by Thai graffiti artist named Pacharapot Tangreun, who usually used street alleys and abandoned buildings in Bangkok to express himself. In this SOS exhibition, he created Alex Face Memory House. It is a house made in vision of the artist's childhood house, with design to keep snapshots of river scene from various places, with additional of his signature figure in various actions. For the example, this one is Alex Face swimming in Ban Phon Riverside. And this one is Alex Face sitting on boat, watching sunset at Wat Racha. This work is similar to work from Renaissance period by Masaccio named Holy Trinity, which use technique of painting to make people not only see but also feel that they standing in front of that space. When compared to Alex Face's work, people also feeling that they be a part of his work, but not only because his painting technique, but he also create the house that the viewer can really go inside, which help them to understand how the house in his memory look like.
Next installation is by Mau Mau. It's the Red Baron Fox, made in 2018. It's an installation art which is an acrylic spray paint on fiberglass, spray paint on sticker on plastic bin, the middle live show animation on screen, acrylic on canvas with frame, lightning, 94 spray can, coconut shell, and painter roll. The Red Baron Fox first appeared last year in Chicago, IL, but the concept of his residence a few years before, highlighting the fact that foxes are forced to live on our trash in inner city rather than in the wild. He wants to show out that while animals should not be left in the city, he wants the viewer to question why the animal would want to be adopted if later they would be left on the trash bin. And inside there is another installation by Mau Mau. The name is We Found Nemo. It is a hand-drawn 3D hologram and found plastic, simply highlighting the huge glass of plastic that have clogged our oceans and beaches, infected food chains, and threatened future life on planet Earth, which is similar to Floor Burger by Claes Oldenburg, which he used the idea of making a piece of everyday life to the status of art and the belief that anything can and should be considered art and that art can impact how people think. Mau Mau also used plastic bottle and net to represent trash in the beaches and ocean that had been captured to make people concerned about how these things would damage our planet.
Ý นิดเดียวรอบสุดท้ายคือได้